Welcome to the Occupational Safety Leadership Podcast, episode number 317. Today's episode, we'll do a little story about what happened to me recently at work, but we're going to focus on asking employees for help in hazard reduction. So sometimes as safety professionals, we get a little cocky and we think we know how to solve it and we're going to order parts and we're going to do stuff then. And for the most part, we do a really good job. But there's times where we need to seek help. We also need to seek a second opinion at times too. So, before we get started, if you get anything from this, like, subscribe, send this to fellow safety professionals. I'm going to continue my mission. I want others to be a better safety professional than I was. So I want folks to learn those lessons that I learned the hard way. Hopefully you can learn it in a proactive way and just make your workplace a better, safer place to be. So let's get started. Not to give all the details, of course, and do a super long half an hour story, but so we have a machine that's doing some industrial cleaning. So it's a industrial grade soap. So it's not like it's a acid or a solvent or anything, but it's like a industrial grade soap. Guy calls me and says, "Hey, I think I'm getting a little smell off of this thing." Okay, well, I'll come on down and check it out. And so what we have is we have it's a it's a reasonably hot process. So it's going to come out of the exhaust stream. Then there's going to be a little air gap before it goes into the exhaust system and finally through the scrubbers, and all that kind of stuff. Then, so the air gap is there to help to add in your everyday air, your room air, so it helps to lower down the temps so that we don't get settling in pipes and all kind of stuff. So long story short, we kind of look at this thing and we can't figure out why the airflow has changed, but it's not capturing all the fumes. So I just said, well, I'll just add on a piece of Schedule 40 pipe. It's not going to be that big of a deal. I looked at everything, being real cocky, and said, oh yeah, I know what size that is. I'll go ahead. I'll order it. It's off the shelf. We'll pop it in tomorrow. So I get it fast. Well, we go to pop it in. Doesn't doesn't work. I got my OD and ID wrong. So I'm like, oh, that's easy to fix. I'll go back. I know what I did wrong. I order it again. Got it wrong a second time. So, long story short, I finally had to find a person to say, help me to do this. I'm doing this thing wrong. Now, the first time, I just kind of eyeballed it. There's no measurement involved. I was really sure, oh yeah, I can do this. Second time, I measured it and I got it wrong again. And I'm like, I got to find somebody with the competence who can do this. I'm obviously not doing something right in this thing. Guy came over, eyeballed it, and said, "Oh yeah, it's this." And so then, of course, because I got it wrong twice, I I, I said, "All right, show me how that you did this." And and of course he's an old timer, and he's like, "You don't have to measure it; you just eyeball it." So I asked him to get out all the stuff. We measure it, we go through it. Long story short, he just eyeballed it and was 100% right. Now, of course, this guy had been working with pipe for 40 years all day. So he's got a lot more competence than me, who has never worked with pipe and just thought, oh, I'll just look at this thing. But it was really interesting to sit down and watch him really go through it like a like a real professional would, and say you have your OD, your outer, and then your ID, your inner, and you're going to look at your thread count and how many threads per inch it is, and just went into this really super detailed. Ordered it up, got it the next day. Everything worked. But so one of the morals of the story is I got it wrong the first time, and that's a ding on me because I shouldn't have been so darn cocky. And then what I should have done the second time, found somebody to verify it. Maybe not do it for me, but come by, verify it. Did I do it right? You know? So not asking folks to do it for me, but just verify that what I did was right then. Um, and then of course when this guy showed up with not measuring anything, of course, then at this point I'm a little spooked because now I also know that folks are like, well, he didn't get it right the first two. Is it going to be wrong for the third? So that's the one thing that I wish I had done is to say, no matter how good I think I am, I'm really here to solve this problem for somebody, not go down to the lab, spend 30 seconds there, walk over. Oh yeah, I could fix that. Done. So to me, that's a really super valuable lesson learned. You know, I even thought about getting that guy when I was doing it the second time, but I was like, how could I do this wrong? There's no way. I know exactly what I'm doing. Well, I did it wrong. So the moral of the story, the moral, of course, of this whole podcast here today, this episode is find people to help you solve these problems. There are people out there with core competence that we don't have. We should do everything we can to have them help us. And it's good to have a second set of eyes out there, a second person to say, hey, let's look at doing it this way. I or I like your idea. Let's verify that that what you're doing is really going to work then. You know. With that, let's wrap it up. I want to thank everybody for joining me. My name is Dr. David Ayers. Thank you and have a safe day.